Hey, this is Tim Pistachio, and this quick video here in my home gym is about compression ratio. Compression ratio is measured on an air conditioning compressor by dividing our suction pressure in PSIA, not PSIG, into your discharge pressure in PSIA. So in order to get PSIA, you add roughly 15 to your PSIG. Say for example, a system is running 100 PSIA suction pressure, 300 PSIA discharge pressure. We're running a 3-to-1 compression ratio, which is pretty normal with comfort cooling and medium temperature refrigeration. The problem is when we start running too low of a suction or too high of a head pressure, now we've got a larger separation between those two pressures. We have a higher compression ratio, and that equals more work for the compressor. So for example, if we're running a normal compression ratio, we are just asking the compressor to do this. And it can do that all day long. But when we're running a higher compression ratio, all of a sudden, we're now asking our compressor to do this. Now, which is more work? The first thing or the second thing? Obviously, the second thing takes more energy, and that's what happens when a compressor runs a higher compression ratio, is it wastes more energy. That is increased amps. Amps equals heat, so now your compressor is running hotter, and that reduces the life of your compressor. So compression ratio especially becomes important in heat pump heating mode, because if you have an airflow problem inside in heat pump heating mode, that is going to be a higher compression ratio problem because you can't reject that heat. So you may think, well, I'm just throwing that hotter air, isn't that good? Well, maybe, but you're running a higher compression ratio also, and that can really hurt your compressor over time. So a lot of compressor failures happen in heating mode, not necessarily cooling mode, because they're running a really high compression ratio. So while I'm not a fan of gauging up on every service call, when you do, check compression ratio. And Measure Quick actually gives you your compression ratio on your reading when you gauge up. So pay attention to that, keep up the solid work, and as always, be safe.